Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Sardar Patel. Coming up in the next hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on a three-nation visit to Jordan, Ethiopia and Oman today. Says historic visit to Amman commemorates 75 years of bilateral relations. Australia considers tougher gun laws after deadly Sydney Bondi mass shooting. PM Albanese targets gun limits and license checks after tragedy. Ukraine Zelensky signals willingness to drop NATO bid in talks to end Ukraine conflict. Trump envoy Steve Witkoff says major progress made after talks. India achieves historic milestone in squash, defeats Hong Kong in Chennai to win first World Cup. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has embarked on a 4-day visit to Jordan, Ethiopia and Oman, with which India shares both age-old civilizational ties as well as extensive contemporary bilateral relations. The first leg takes him to Jordan from December 15 to 16 at the invitation of King Abdullah II ibn al-Hussein. This historic visit marks 75 years of establishment of diplomatic relations between two countries. During the visit, PM Modi will hold detailed discussions with the King and Prime Minister Jafar Hassan, besides engagements with Crown Prince Al-Hussein bin Abdullah II. In Amman, the Prime Minister will also meet the vibrant Indian community who have made significant contributions to India-Jordan relations. From Amman, at the invitation of his Ethiopian counterpart, Abiy Ahmed Ali, PM Modi will pay his first visit to the East African country. Addis Ababa is also the headquarters of the African Union. In 2023, during India's G20 presidency, the African Union was admitted as a permanent member of the G20. In Addis Ababa, PM Modi will hold detailed discussions with his counterpart and also have the opportunity to meet the Indian diaspora living there. He will also have the privilege to address the joint session of Parliament, where he will share his thoughts on India's journey as the mother of democracy and the value that the India-Ethiopia partnership can bring to the global south. On the final leg of his journey, Prime Minister will visit the Sultanate of Oman. The visit will mark 70 years of the establishment of diplomatic ties between India and Oman. In Muscat, he will hold discussions with the Sultan of Oman and towards strengthening strategic partnership as well as strong commercial and economic relationship. He will also address a gathering of the Indian diaspora in Oman, which has contributed immensely to the country's development and in enhancing our partnership. Marking 75 years of ties, the Prime Minister's Jordan visit will review bilateral relations and regional issues, giving fresh momentum to India-Jordan partnership. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya with this report.
In West Asia's complex geopolitical landscape, Jordan has emerged as a stable and trusted partner for India, anchored in shared commitments to peace and regional stability. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will undertake a 2-day bilateral visit to Jordan starting Monday at the invitation of King Abdullah bin al-Hussein. This marks the Prime Minister's full-fledged bilateral visit to the kingdom and coincides with 75 years of diplomatic relations between India and Jordan.
It's a truly historic and a landmark visit. This is the year when we are celebrating 75 years of establishment of diplomatic relationship between India and Jordan. And perhaps this is the most memorable occasion, and we couldn't have asked for more. We are all looking forward to his presence in our midst, the Indian community here, and His Majesty and the entire government and the leadership have been extremely positive and responsive to this memorable occasion, and we are all geared to ensure a very smooth, successful and productive visit.
During the visit, Prime Minister Modi will hold talks with King Abdullah II to review the full spectrum of bilateral ties and exchange views on key regional and global developments.
Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will embark on a bilateral visit to the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan from December 15 to 16, 2025. This will be Prime Minister's first full-fledged bilateral visit to Jordan, which is coinciding with the 75th year of establishment of diplomatic relations between India and Jordan. Bilateral visit is taking place after an interval of 37 years. India and Jordan share warm and friendly relations marked by mutual trust and goodwill. The relationship spans across sectors including political, economic, defense and strong people-to-people ties.
India-Jordan economic relations have grown steadily over the years. India is now Jordan's third largest trading partner, with bilateral trade valued at nearly $2.8 billion. Jordan plays a vital role in India's food security, supplying critical fertilizers such as phosphates and potash for India's agricultural sector. Both countries are exploring new areas of collaboration, including green energy, water technology and food security. Tourism cooperation, along with education and digital innovation, is emerging as the next frontier as India and Jordan work towards a future driven by knowledge and innovation.
With shared values, growing economic ties and new areas of cooperation, India and Jordan are poised to take their partnership to the next level, turning 75 years of friendship into a future of deeper regional cooperation and mutual growth. With Tapas and Ashish, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from Jordan.
All right, and DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya is in Jordan and joins us from there. Hi, Tapas. I want to ask you, what are the key takeaways expected from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Jordan, and how significant is this tour for strengthening India's engagement with West Asia? Tapas.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Jordan is being viewed here as a watershed moment in bilateral ties. This is the first time, in fact, this is the first full-fledged bilateral visit by an Indian Prime Minister, and it comes at a time when India is deepening its engagement across West Asia. The focus is not limited to diplomatic symbolism. Substantive outcomes are expected in areas such as trade, investment, renewable energy cooperation, and coordination on regional security. Jordan is a stable and trusted partner in this particularly volatile region, and this visit reinforces India's commitment to working closely with Oman on shared regional concerns, including peace and stability in the Middle East. It also underscores Jordan's importance in India's West Asia outreach.
Indeed. Tapas, I also want to ask you how PM Modi's visit is being received in Jordan, and what does it signal for the future cooperation?
Right, on the grounds in Jordan, Prime Minister Modi's visit has generated strong interest and positive statement. There is a visible goodwill for India, driven by cultural familiarity and the popularity of Indian films and the presence of the Indian community. Jordanian officials see this visit as an opportunity to elevate cooperation beyond the traditional diplomacy, particularly in tourism, cultural exchanges, education, people-to-people contact. And Prime Minister's engagement at heritage sites are being closely watched by each and everyone as they highlight the soft power dimension of the relationship and signals a long-term multifaceted partnership between India and Jordan.
All right, Tapas, we leave it there. And Indian Ambassador to Jordan, Manish Chauhan, further said that digital cooperation poised to be key pillar in India-Jordan engagement. Here is DT India exclusive. Take a listen.
Nowadays, India has been known as a IT hub. it's a country where the whole world now looks up to providing solution. Jordan, at this particular area in the Middle East, is turning out to be, IT hub itself. They're trying to level best to project themselves. Do you believe that both countries can work in that department as well?
Absolutely. You mentioned the India Center. So there is, you're very right, India is a giant in this area. We are constant, and there is that openness to deepening this engagement at all levels. And again, I would say that the forthcoming visit, the business forum, provide us with the foundation to push forward in this field, because there is keenness to engage and deepen this relationship, and we'll see how best to achieve a positive outcome.
In India, sir, it's very easy nowadays to do digital transaction. You have gone there, you flash your mobile, scan, and that's the power of digital revolution. That's something that probably places like Jordan can also take a leaf out. We saw UPI becoming common in some of the other countries, for instance, Paris and Singapore, other places. Do you believe that something like that, the digital transformation that we see, the digital public infrastructure that India is right now championing and has become a major behemoth in that, I believe that Jordan can take a leaf?
Absolutely. And India has also been open to engaging with countries and sharing it. This is something that, again, Honorable Prime Minister talks about, that India has an open system, and we would like to share that with the countries of the world. We are absolutely open to sharing it with the friends in Jordan. And like I said, you're talking about so many areas where there is so many possibilities. And through Jordan, I have met companies from India that have come here and use Jordan also to explore the rest of the region.
Actually, this is a very interesting place where you can actually have a Middle East connection through Jordan throughout the place.
Absolutely, and you've already experienced the warmth and the hospitality here. And so, again, there are so many threats that are common, and the possibilities are there, because not just there is a positive environment to strengthen the relationship, also amongst the private sector, the companies in all these fields. So there is a positive environment, and we're trying to make sure that environment only gets stronger and bigger.
India-Jordan ties enter a future-ready phase as PM Modi's visit spotlights tech, education and startup diplomacy, empowering youth and building a modern partnership beyond traditional diplomacy. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya with this report.
The future of India-Jordan relations is being powered by young minds, innovative ideas and technology-driven opportunities. As Jordan nurtures one of the most educated youth population in the Arab world, India brings unmatched expertise in digital transformation, startup ecosystem and skill development. Jordan's tech talent is recognized across the region, and Indian IT firms see strong potential in collaborating on cybersecurity, fintech, software development and artificial intelligence. Joint hackathons, innovation challenges and incubator partnerships are already emerging as a new platform for cooperation. Education is another rapidly expanding area. Scholarships, exchange programs and academic collaborations between universities are enabling students from both the countries to access global standard education. Jordanian students in India pursue engineering, medicine, management and IT, while Indian institutes are building research ties with Jordanian academics. Digital public infrastructure, one of the biggest strengths, offers vast scope for cooperation. Jordan is studying India's experience in digital payments, digital identity, e-governance and telemedicine, with discussions underway for joint pilot productions, joint pilot cooperations. Skill development is also a promising frontier. India's vocational training models, coding programs, tech skill initiative align perfectly with Jordan's focus on youth empowerment and job creations. Startup diplomacy is bringing entrepreneurs together across both countries. From clean tech to agri-tech and ed-tech, joint ventures and technology transfers are becoming more common. With Prime Minister Modi's visit, the Tech Education Partnership stands as one of the most transformative pathways for future growth, building a modern, innovation-led bridge between India and Jordan. With camera person Ashish, this is Tapas for DD India from Jordan.
And still to come on DD India News Hour. Syria arrests 5 suspects after attack on joint US-Syrian convoy in Palmyra. Venezuela's regional allies voiced support for the government in a summit. Right-wing candidate Jose Antonio Cast wins Chilean presidency amid crime migration concerns.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you. You read between the lines, cut the clutter and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Sardar Patel. Australia's Prime Minister proposed tougher gun laws after 2 gunmen killed 15 people in a mass shooting targeting a Jewish festival at a Sydney beach. The alleged attackers, a father and son, fired into crowds packing the beach for the start of Hanukkah on Sunday evening. Investigations continues in Bondi Beach attack as police raided the home of the alleged gunman. The father was killed at the scene while his 24-year-old son was in critical condition in hospital. Australian media has named them as Sajid Akram and his son Naveed Akram. 40 people still remain in hospital following the attack, including 2 police officers who are in a serious but stable condition. The victims were aged between 10 and 87. Meanwhile, police confirmed the 50-year-old father was licensed to hold 6 firearms which they believed were used in the shootings. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said it was time to consider whether the country's gun laws needed to be tightened up again.
The government is prepared to take whatever action is necessary. Included in that is the need for tougher gun laws. This afternoon at 4 o'clock I will put on the agenda of the National Cabinet tougher gun laws, including limits on the number of guns that can be used or licensed by individuals. Quite clearly, the Howard government's gun laws have made an enormous difference in Australia and are a proud moment of reform, quite rightly, achieved across the Parliament with bipartisan support. If we need to toughen these up, if there's anything we can do, I'm certainly up for it, and I hope to get National Cabinet on board for that this afternoon as well.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar spoke to Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong and conveyed his condolences about the Bondi Beach terrorist attack and offered New Delhi's fullest support. And for more on what this means for Australia, we are joined by Nazia Alvi Rahman. Nazia, hello. Going forward, what kind of steps is the government taking to ensure incidents of this nature do not happen again?
government has already announced that going forward, it will be more of a preventive, they'll take a lot of preventive measures. As I already mentioned, that security has been enhanced around all Jewish community places, synagogues, schools, and extra funding has been announced for Jewish community, particularly for the security of Jewish community. What is very important here to mention is that anti-Semitism has been on rise in Australia since October 7, 2023, since the Hamas and Israel conflict started. And early this year, a special envoy was asked to make guidelines on how we can contain it. And some very strict guidelines were made effective a couple of months ago, wherein any university where even a single case of anti-Semitism is reported, or it feels like that the university is not able to contain it, the funding would be reduced or withheld. That was one. And second, even the visas of a lot of, at least 4 to 5 cases of cancellation of visas of people who had anti-Semitic views, or even any kind of very extreme right-wing views were cancelled in last 4 months by the Home Ministry. They have also announced measures like very, very close scrutiny of media reporting, so that this doesn't fuel further. Another thing which is important here to mention is that gun laws are very strict in Australia, but these two gunmen, these two shooters last night had 6 licensed arms, which is something very alarming for the government. So they have already announced that they're going to relook into the gun laws of the country.
All right, Nazia, thank you so much. We'll leave it there. And a man was taken into custody from Rhode Island Hotel in the Brown University shooting that left 2 students dead and 9 wounded amid year-end final exams at the Ivy League school. Providence Police Chief said the person detained in connection with the Saturday's gun violence was in his 20s but declined to share further details. Detectives anticipated that the person in custody would be formally charged Sunday night. FBI Director Kashi Patel said in a post on X that the person of interest had been detained in a hotel room in the Rhode Island town of Coventry. An FBI team specializing in cellular data analysis used geolocation information to track the suspect. The mass shooting, the latest of nearly 400 in the US this year, shook the community at the university. The school cancelled exams and classes for the rest of the year, and the campus was quiet on Sunday as a light snowfall blanketed the city. Flowers and candles were laid on the Brown University campus in Providence, Rhode Island. Moving on to updates from Russia-Ukraine conflict, where President Volodymyr Zelensky has offered to drop Ukraine's aspirations to join the NATO military alliance. It came ahead of his 5 hours of talks with US envoys in Berlin to end the conflict with Russia, with negotiations set to continue on Monday. Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff said a lot of progress was made as he and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner met Zelensky in the latest push to end Europe's bloodiest conflict since World War II, though full details were not divulged. The move marks a major shift for Ukraine, which has fought to join NATO as a safeguard against Russian attacks and has such an inspiration included in its constitution. It also meets one of Russia's aims, although Kyiv has so far held firm against ceding territory to Moscow. The talks were hosted by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Britain, France and Germany have been working to refine the US proposals, which in a draft disclosed last month call for Kyiv to cede more territory, abandon its NATO ambitions and accept limits on its armed forces. Syria has arrested 5 people suspected of having links to the shooting of US and Syrian troops in the central Syrian town of Palmyra on Saturday, the Interior Ministry said on Sunday. 2 US soldiers and a civilian interpreter were killed when an assailant attacked a joint convoy before being shot dead. Authorities identified the attacker as a Syrian security force member suspected of sympathizing with Islamic State. The arrests followed a joint operation with international coalition forces. Syria reaffirmed cooperation with the US-led coalition against ISIS, with officials stressing a shared commitment to combat the group. The US maintains troops in Syria as part of its long-running anti-ISIS mission. News now from Venezuela. Venezuela's regional allies voiced support for the government in a summit condemning the Trump administration's seizure of an oil tanker last week. The seizure of the skipper tanker off Venezuela's coast last Wednesday marked the first U.S. capture of Venezuelan oil cargo since U.S. sanctions were imposed in 2019. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel said Latin America and the Caribbean are facing threats without precedent in recent decades. He warned that the region is confronting a complex combination of economic pressures, geopolitical tensions. Referring to the U.S. seizure of the tanker, Nicaragua's co-president Ortega exclaimed they are thieves. In recent developments, U.S. seized MT Skipper off the coast of Venezuela this week. This week's seizure of the vessel was the latest escalation in growing tensions between Washington and Caracas. U.S. had carried out several strikes against suspected drug vessels in the region. U.S. President Trump has repeatedly floated the possibility of a U.S. military intervention in Venezuela as U.S. continues to build up its military forces in and around the southern Caribbean. U.S. military aircraft and vessels, helicopter were observed operating in and around southern Puerto Rico. The activity comes amid heightened U.S. military operations in the Caribbean. Thousands of Brazilians protested on Sunday in major cities against a legislative effort to lower the jail sentence of former President Jair Bolsonaro and his supporters. The demonstrators denounced lawmakers for trying to soften the punishment for a former president. It was the first major demonstration since Bolsonaro, whose far-right movement reshaped Brazilian politics, began serving his prison sentence last month. He is being held in a specially prepared cell at a federal police building in Brasilia. Last week, a conservative majority in the lower house of Congress passed a bill that could reduce Bolsonaro's sentence to just over 2 years, pending Senate approval. He was sentenced to 27 years in prison for plotting to overthrow democracy after losing his 2022 re-election bid. Jose Antonio Cast won Chile's presidential election on Sunday, leveraging voter fears over rising crime and migration to steer the country. Cast secured a commanding 58% of the vote in a runoff with leftist candidate Janet Yara, who won 42% and swiftly conceded. Throughout his decades-long political career, Cast has been a consistent right-wing hardliner. He has proposed building border walls, deploying the military to high-crime areas, and deporting all migrants in the country illegally. His victory marks the latest win for the resurgent right in Latin America. The campaign was Cast's third run at the presidency and second runoff after losing to leftist President Gabriel Boric in 2021. Chile's outgoing President Gabriel Boric congratulated right-wing candidate Jose Antonio Cast after he won the presidential election. Once seen by many Chileans as too extreme, he has attracted voters who have become increasingly concerned by crime and immigration. Hong Kong pro-democracy media mogul Jimmy Lai was found guilty on Monday on 2 charges of foreign collusion and 1 charge of seditious publication. High Court judge stated that Lai was unwavering in his efforts to destabilize the Chinese Communist Party, ultimately prioritizing this over interests of the people of China and Hong Kong. Lai, who suffers from health issues including diabetes and high blood pressure, had pleaded not guilty to the charges. He has already spent 5 years in jail. Pending the outcome of his case, will be sentenced at a later date. The case has drawn international scrutiny of Hong Kong's judicial independence amid a years-long crackdown on rights and freedoms in the global financial hub. Meanwhile, people camped overnight outside the courthouse in a line over a block long to get one of the 507 tickets, 58 for Lai's courtroom and the rest for video viewing. The verdict marks a key moment for Lai, who spoke out against Beijing's crackdown after Hong Kong's 2019 protests and continued warning about authoritarianism. And still to come on DD India News Hour. Winter session nears close as Parliament takes up election reforms appropriation bill. India emerges as the world's third strongest AI power, boosting Viksit Bharat vision. Nation observes 75th death anniversary of Sardar Patel.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Hello. Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
You're watching DD India News. I'm Sardar Bharadwaj. The winter session of India's Parliament enters its last leg today, with the government pushing through substantial legislations. In Rajya Sabha or the upper house, further discussion on election reform will take place besides question hour and zero hour. While in Lok Sabha or the lower house, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will introduce the Appropriation No. 4 bill for the services of the financial year 2025-26 for consideration and passing. All right, and my colleague Dibyendu Mondal joins us on the story. Hi Dibyendu, a very good morning to you. Dibyendu, as winter session of the Parliament enters its last leg today, what all can we expect? Dibyendu.
Well, Siddharth, the last week of the winter session which went by had seen marathon debates on two very important issues. One of the celebration of 150 years of Vande Mataram, and the second was on the electoral reforms. The lower house debated on the electoral reforms last week. We have seen Union Home Minister Amit Shah giving an hour and a half long reply to all the questions that had been raised by the opposition parties. But the debate has now reached the Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house of the Indian Parliament. The debate has been going on since Thursday afternoon. And it is expected that the debate, the 10-hour long, which had been earmarked for this debate in the upper house, will conclude later today in the upper house with the JP Nadda, the floor leader, and BJP's national president, giving a reply to all the questions that have been raised by the opposition parties. So therefore, this winter session has been a session of marathon debates in both the houses of parliament that concerns the common citizen, that concerns the democratic institution of India. As far as the rest of the business of both the houses of parliament is concerned over the next couple of days, as the winter session closes on the 19th of this month, there could be some bills that could be brought in by the government over the next 1 or 2 days. And today we have Union Minister for Finance Nirmala Sitharaman proposing the appropriation for funds bill, which in fact entails that withdrawing additional amount of funds from the Consolidated Fund of India to meet the daily expenses of the government and to pump in more money in the crucial projects for the growth and development of India. It is a normal routine process in a parliamentary democracy where the government needs to seek permission from the people, House of the People, which is the Lok Sabha, to withdraw funds from the Consolidated Fund of India. We can also expect to see the Jan Vishwas bill coming in later in the week, which has been the top priority of the government. Apart from that, the parliament overall has seen a good number of working hours this time around as compared to the monsoon session, which was completely washout. Siddharth.
Definitely, Dibyendu, we'll keep taking updates from you on this, but as of now, we leave it there. Thank you so much. India has categorically rejected the assertions made by the interim government of Bangladesh. In a press release, the Ministry of External Affairs said that we have consistently reiterated our position in favor of free, fair, inclusive and credible elections being held in Bangladesh in a peaceful atmosphere. India has never allowed its territory to be used for activities inimical to the interests of the friendly people of Bangladesh. We expect that the interim government of Bangladesh will take all necessary measures for ensuring internal law and order, including for the purpose of holding peaceful elections. The Indian Navy will commission its second MH-60R helicopter squadron, INAS 335 Ospreys, at the INS Hansa, Goa on 17th of December in the presence of Admiral Dinesh Kumar Tripathi, Chief of the Naval Staff. This milestone marks a significant step in the Indian Navy's ongoing drive for modernization and capability enhancement. The MH-60R helicopter stands as a versatile and powerful asset with fully integrated into fleet operations. The aircraft has consistently demonstrated its effectiveness. With the commissioning of INAS 335, the Indian Navy's integral aviation capabilities will receive a substantial boost. India has ranked as the world's third, in fact, most competitive AI power according to Stanford University's Global AI Vibrancy Tool. We give you all the details in our next report on how this feat is a big boost to India's AI mission and the vision of Viksit Bharat or Developed India by 2047.
Stanford University's Global AI Vibrancy Tool ranked India as the world's third most competitive country in artificial intelligence. India's rapidly growing tech ecosystem and large talent pools landed firmly in the third place of the list. The latest ranking highlights how India's fast-growing tech ecosystem and strong talent base are helping the country play a key role in the global AI race. This puts India ahead of several advanced economies including the United Kingdom, Japan, Canada, Germany and France. This ranking reflects not just R&D output, but economic strength, policy engagement and public awareness of AI. The development comes a few days after top global companies announced their plans to invest multi-billion dollars in the country's AI infrastructure in the next few years. Amazon announced an investment commitment of $35 billion by 2030 in key AI, logistics and cloud computing infrastructure. Microsoft has pledged an investment of $17.5 billion, its biggest investment in Asia, for cloud and AI expansion. The findings reinforce the idea that India is no longer a peripheral player in AI, but a central contender, shaping the next phase of global technological competition. For the first time in India's history, the government is actively shaping an AI ecosystem where computing power, GPUs, and research opportunities are accessible at an affordable cost. Unlike in the past, AI in India is no longer confined to a privileged few or dominated by global tech giants. Through forward-looking policies, the Modi government is empowering students, startups, and innovators with world-class AI infrastructure, fostering a truly level playing field. Initiatives such as the India AI Mission and the establishment of Centers of Excellence for AI are strengthening the country's AI ecosystem, paving the way for innovation and self-reliance in this critical sector. These efforts align with the vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047, where India aspires to become a global AI powerhouse, leveraging cutting-edge technology for economic growth, governance, and societal progress. Bureau Report, DD India.
With the arrival of the final delegation in the 4th edition of Kashi Tamil Sangamam, the program is now moving towards its conclusion. To encourage the 7th and final delegation, Union Minister of State for Education Sukanta Majumdar attended the cultural program at Namo Ghat. In the 4th phase of Kashi Tamil Sangamam, these melodic waves at Namo Ghat, the classical music traditions of the Gharanas of Kashi, the vibrant energy emanating from the musical instruments of Tamil Nadu, this confluence of all is further enriching the spirit of Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat. In the 4th phase of Kashi Tamil Sangamam, a total of 7 delegations arrived on the sacred land of Kashi. Along with Kashi, they also visited Prayagraj and Ayodhya. Along with the exchange of language, cuisine, literature, crafts and various art forms, the most important bond formed was the unification of emotions. Today, the nation observes the 75th death anniversary of Sardar Patel, fondly remembered as the Iron Man of India for his unmatched role in unifying the country. Sardar Patel, revered for uniting a fragmented, newly independent India into one strong nation despite immense challenges. He devoted his life as the country's first Home Minister to safeguarding Mother India, ensuring stability and establishing peace. By strengthening the cooperative movement and laying the foundations of self-reliance, empowering women and farmers alike, he continues to remind the nation of the principle of nation first. Let's take a look at other stories making news. Union Communications Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia unveiled a majestic 25-foot statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in Athani, Karnataka. Calling the occasion historic, the minister emphasized that the event was not merely the unveiling of a statue but a solemn resolve to carry forward the spirit of India's self-respect, courage and the consciousness of Hindvi Swaraj to future generations. Young school children in Agartala came together to participate in the 54th Vijay Divas celebrations, marking India's historic victory in the 1971 Indo-Pakistan War. The Indian Army organized a large-scale painting competition at the Albert Eka War Memorial, aiming to inspire patriotism and awareness of the nation's military heritage among the younger generation. And still to come on DD India News Hour. Delhi marks final stop of Messi's GOAT or greatest of all time India Tour 2025 with celebration of young football talent. Thousands don Santa suits as Mexico City hosts festive 7th annual Santa Run.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you. You read between the lines, cut the clutter and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Sardar Patel, and time now for some sports news. India created history as they defeated Hong Kong, China in final to win Squash World Cup in Chennai. The win marked India's maiden Squash World Cup, improving on their previous best finish of a bronze medal at the 2023 edition. The Indian team did not lose a single match en route to the summit clash. In the final, Joshna gave India the perfect start as she stunned Lee Ka-yi in the opening women's singles match. Abhay Singh followed up perfectly as he outplayed Alex Lowe to give India a 2-0 lead. Then Anahat Singh clinched the third rubber to bag the title. The victory also made India only the fourth nation after Australia, England and Egypt to win the Squash World Cup crown.
It's a really special feeling. I think coming into the tournament, all of us knew that we were playing really well and we had a chance. And they got a bronze medal last year and they knew that we could do better this time. And I think we were just taking it match by match and it ended up working out really well. I think throughout the tournament, all of us, we had 3-0 wins all throughout all three of us would win. And I think it went pretty smoothly because coming into the tournament, we were quite confident since, the crowd here is amazing. They're all on our side and it's really amazing to play in a venue like this, playing in your home country. And we were quite confident with the way we were playing as well.
India's squash star Joshna expressed her immense joy after claiming her first ever World Cup title in the Squash World Cup. In an exclusive interview with DD India correspondent Ritesh Ranjan, Joshna shared her thoughts on her successful campaign, the challenges she faced from the competition and her future goals in the sport.
I have world champion Joshna Chinnappa with me. How does it feel, Joshna?
It feels great, of course, playing here in Chennai, with the home support. Of course, there's going to be pressure on us to, perform as well. And I was just so fortunate that I had a team like Abe, Bela and Anahat to back me up. And yeah, it just feels great to win a gold.
Well, your final match, I saw, it was mostly nil or love. It was going like that. So how confident you were about this match?
I was definitely confident of playing well. The score lines were definitely a lot harder than it looked. There were a lot of hard rallies in the match as well, and I was just happy to convert it. With a 7-point game, things are really quick, so you have to, stay alert and, be aware of what's happening throughout. And I'm just lucky to have gotten that through in 4.
Now, what is next? What is your next plan? What new matches are coming up?
I'm playing a domestic tournament in a few days in Bombay to, kind of wrap up the year and then get back to training because we have a big season coming up next year.
So this is Joshna Chinnappa, world champion, and she is ready for another domestic game, and this is how it will go. With camera person Arun, Ritesh Ranjan, DD India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the Indian squash team on clinching their maiden World Cup title on Monday. PM Modi took to social media platform X and wrote, "Congratulations to the Indian squash team for creating history and winning their first ever World Cup title at SD80 Squash World Cup 2025. Joshna Chinnappa, Abhay Singh, Velavan Senthil Kumar and Anahat Singh have displayed tremendous dedication and determination. Their success has made the entire nation proud. This win will also boost the popularity of squash among our youth." And Messi buzz is all over the country. Arun Jaitley Stadium in Delhi is set to host global football icon Lionel Messi on Monday, marking the final leg of his GOAT, or as we say, GOAT or greatest of all time India Tour 2025, and bringing the countrywide celebrations to a close. The program at the stadium will see Messi felicitating Minerva Academy's teams who have won 3 major youth titles, highlighting India's emerging football talent. A celebrity football match will also be organized as part of the event. Delhi and District Cricket Association Secretary Ashok Sharma said that Messi's visit would be a major source of inspiration for young footballers, adding that such moments play a crucial role in nurturing future talent in the sport.
मेसी का आना ही इंडिया के अंदर फुटबॉल को प्रमोट करने के लिए है। जितनी भी बच्चों को वो यहाँ टिप्स देंगे, जो भी उनकी प्लानिंग है आने वाले टाइम में, बच्चों को सिखाएंगे, बच्चों के साथ बात करेंगे, तो वो मोटिवेशन बहुत बड़ा है। मेसी मतलब आप खुद मैं बचपन से फुटबॉल के मैच देखता आया हूँ। यहाँ डूरंड और DCM होता था, उस स्केल की फ़ुटबॉल और जो खुद वो खेलते हैं मैसी, उस तरीके की फ़ुटबॉल में ज़मीन आसमान का फ़र्क है। उनके पैर से निकला हुआ गोल, उनके पैर से निकली हुई फ़ुटबॉल, यहाँ बच्चे खुद अपने सामने देखेंगे, उनके साथ खड़े होंगे, तो मोटिवेशन, तो इससे बड़ा मोटिवेशन और कोई हो नहीं सकता बच्चों के लिए।
Earlier, the Indian city of Mumbai turned into a global football arena as legendary footballer Lionel Messi arrived for the second leg of the GOAT or Greatest of All Time tour at the iconic Wankhede Stadium on Sunday. Thousands of fans, many wearing Argentina jerseys, gathered to catch a glimpse of the man widely regarded as one of the greatest footballers of all time. Here is a detailed report of the event.
The atmosphere was electric as the celebrations began with high-energy artist performances, transforming the cricket stadium into a grand football fiesta. The excitement continued with a celebrity football match, bringing together prominent personalities from sports and entertainment, much to the delight of cheering spectators. Lionel Messi held a brief interaction with the teams. He also interacted with young football players in the field. For many in the crowd, it was once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to witness their hero in person. The crowd got a chance to catch Messi's kicked football. It reflected his extraordinary journey and the deep emotional connect he shares with fans. Chief Minister of Maharashtra Devendra Fadnavis, cricket legend Sachin Tendulkar, Indian soccer stars Sunil Chhetri among others were present at the event. Messi and Sachin Tendulkar exchanged Tendulkar's jersey number 10 and Messi's football. The Mumbai leg of the tour was more than just an event. It was a celebration of passion, perseverance and sporting excellence. Indian fans finally got the chance to celebrate their football icon on home soil, making the evening at Wankhede Stadium a truly unforgettable chapter in India's football fandom. Sharma Mishra's report from Mumbai for DD India.
It's Messi all the way in the entire country. Well, India defeated South Africa in the third T20I by 7 wickets in Dharamshala on Sunday. The win, set up by an exceptional bowling performance, gave India a 2-1 lead in the 5-match leg. The home team was in the driver's seat from start to finish in a dominant showing. After electing to field, India was ruthless with the ball, bundling South Africa out for 117 runs. Arshdeep Singh, Harshit Rana, Kuldeep and Varun took 2 wickets each. In reply, India chased the total in 15.5 overs. The fourth T20I will take place on Wednesday in Lucknow. India secured an emphatic 90-run win over Pakistan in their Group A match of the Under-19 Asia Cup in Dubai. A disciplined bowling performance led by all-rounder Kanishk Chauhan and Seema Dipesh Devendran powered India to the comprehensive victory. India posted a competitive 240 all-out in 46.1 overs, thanks to a fluent 85 from Aaron George and useful contributions from captain Ayush Mahatre and Kanishk Chauhan. India got off to a brisk start with skipper Mahatre before Mohammad Sayyam removed both openers. George then held the innings together through the middle phase. Chauhan's late flourish helped India reach 240-run mark despite losing wickets regularly. Pakistan were then bundled out for 150 runs in 41.2 overs as they could not recover from the early setbacks. Okay, so it's Christmas season and more than 3,000 people filled the streets of Mexico City taking part in the annual Santa race celebrating the holiday season. Let's take a look. We really hope you like that visual. So many Santas in one screen, so many gifts indeed. But that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Sardar Patel from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.